Yo. Hello guys and girls. Thanks for joining me once again in this live coding session where you guys can join me on my foray into the functional programming world with Elm. We've been doing this for I think 7 times up until now. So yeah, let's go over what we did before. So this is the application that we're building. It's a Tinder application where you can match with pets by liking or disliking them. You will get matched randomly, and or once you're matched, you're also able to, or that's the idea at least, you're able to talk to chickens. Excellent. um, so what we've done is first we just implemented that toggle info pane. So when you click on the I button right here, the overlay shows up, giving you some text about what this pet is all about. Then we've implemented the like and dislike buttons by just advancing a list. Then we also connected that to a backend server, so a backend app that was feeding back the randomly matched statements, so you would get this screen. Then we made a separate Elm application, and this is important because it's going to come back later, where we built this chat page, basically, where you're able to chat with the pet, or a pet, the fixed pet, let's say. We connected some WebSockets to that as well to get actual live chat going. And then this is what we did last time. I made a pull request to Jan and he accepted it, so that's cool. And he says when you open the chat application with, so the actually filled in pet ID, then we would be chatting with that pet. In this example, it would be chatting with Princess. And then also when you would change the URL to a different ID, you would start chatting with that pet. So I think if you change it to 4, you'll be chatting with Cricket, for example. And then today we are going to attempt this thing. So we're going to attempt to connect both the home page containing all of these 3 screens with the chat page, just that chat thing. And then the idea is that when you click on the send message button, you'll get redirected or routed to this page with the hashtag stuff, the hashtag URL. I always forget what it's called. I think it's like, I wanted to say hash bang, but then that's not a hash bang. And in any case, this kind of looking URL where this also gets dynamically filled in. Cool. So let's show some code as well. So we've got 2 pages right now. We've got a home page that is just containing all of the container stuff with the photo URL and the profile text for a pet that gets conditionally rendered. And then there is a chat.elm page as well that contains the chatting with a pet. And then, well, yeah, there's that. What we also did, maybe this is somewhat important as well, in this, also in last session, we also introduced a pet decoder that decodes the JSON response into, in this case, a pet using map5, for example. Or that's what we did because it only had 5 fields. What we didn't get into was, and I did think that we looked it up, and I might go into that in the next session as well, but I think it's more important, or cooler at least, when we try to merge these 2 separate application or pages into one single application. I have not done this before, so get ready for some struggling. You're welcome to help me out as well if you know something about Elm, for example. I also did some reading, and Richard Feldman from Nowhere Inc. he wrote this article where he makes the real world application in Elm. And it only seems normal that a real world application contains multiple pages where you can route to different components or different things. What we have here is just the source code that goes along with this article. And here's where he sort of explains what his module structure looks like, and what the general idea is behind all of that stuff. So in the beginning, he talks a bit about I want to take into account laggy connections. So I'm going to do some fancy stuff with page or tasks. Sorry. But I think the most important part of, well, the thing that's going to be most useful to us now is the fact that he splits his application up in one big main application, a routing module, and then he splits all of his stuff up in multiple views, and then pages that combine all of those views into one page that makes sense. And it's also these pages that will be defined in this route module as well. And then in data, there's a lot of stuff I think concerning to either the model or the way to get the model from HTTP. So from, so for example here, they use a slightly different approach. So they use their own library to decode JSON into Elm records. Right, and that's about it basically, right? So having these tools at hand, and then my not so awake brain, we're gonna try and make something out of both of these separate pages now and try and make them into one single application. So I'm gonna quickly find out if everything still works. I haven't really done that yet. Or I haven't done that today. So I'm also gonna be starting the backend app and somewhere in the background here, so you guys shouldn't be all that bothered with that stuff. Just a quick. There we go. So then we can go to localhost 8K. We can go to index, and this is where our chat page gets rendered, and we're suddenly talking to chickens. Seems to be working. I'll do some of this a little bit so it'll be more clear. Cool. So that seems to be working just fine. Great. Now I have got some tests, but they're not really telling me anything yet. So normally I would run the build and check if it's failing or not. In this case, we're just going to do some manual testing. Cool. So how do we go from two separate pages or separate modules into one single thing? So I thought it'd be interesting to just first start off with making like a main container page, so to speak. So I'm gonna start off by making a new file called just main.elm. following the example of Richard Feldman. And then we're gonna, let's see. So we'll need the main program thing. Now let's first check, because if my chat application, yeah, so we're gonna need this one. Cool. As our main program. So last week we learned that if we want to do some navigation, we're gonna need to use the nav, well, the navigation module. Where is it at? Navigation. So this thing, and I'm guessing we're also gonna need this thing, and then maybe keep WebSockets for the chat application. Just that. So import both of these. And then also define our module called main in this case. Let's see if that stuff works. So then there's stuff when URL, we're gonna need HTML, all of this stuff. Probably also HTTP, I'm not really sure. But we'll need these in any case. And then okay, why not? And it's right there. So now we can define our message type being a message, this thing. Excellent. And then the parse URL stuff, we're also just gonna copy. I wonder why this is that Visual Studio Code can't seem to find any of that. So you can already see that this thing is gonna return or do something specifically to the model of this chat page. So maybe we don't need something specifically like that just yet, and just have this sort of thing where we take in a model and a location and then just return model and cmd none. Then obviously we'll need a model as well. So let's start off by making a type alias for model that contains absolutely nothing. Then initial model doesn't exist just yet. Yeah. Does that work for empty constructors? Yes, it does. So we'll also need a view function. Let's keep that somewhere up here. Where we're gonna return an empty div for now. And then we'll also need an update function, which usually goes up top. And it comes with this neat no operation syntax. So let's include that thing as well. Right. And then in any other case, also just return this. Then we'll need to take care of subscriptions, and I forget if we have them. We do, but only when we have our chat application that gets started up. So in this case, we don't need any. And I think you can just go like, here is an anonymous function or a closure that just says subscriptions none or something. And then I'm gonna need to probably import subscriptions. Nope, it does not exist. I have to look it up. I forget whatever the thing was. Elm subscriptions. Or it's just sub. I don't know. Yawn. Do they provide? Maybe it's just sub.non then. Ah, right. So something that. Oh wait, I just modified the wrong application. Yep, there we go. Cool. So now we've got a compiling. No, not just yet. Yeah, so my bad. There we go. Cool. Seems to be compiling. Let's start our Elm reactor again. And then maybe, I'm not really sure, but we might need to refresh our, our index.html to say, please do not use chat, use main instead. And there we go, an empty page with an empty model. Cool. So now we're ready to move parts from home and chat over to main. And maybe we can first start off by like building this header bit right here, which is definitely something that we'll need, right? A header for now. There we go. Then we can use this to, oh, sorry. Yeah, so we can use this to make sure that it's inside a component for now. So let's call this render or view header, maybe just view header. And then view header can be, or maybe let's move it to the bottom, equals this thing, right? And then let's also annotate that stuff. And this we don't really need to annotate. I mean, well, it's always going to be a model. So that was the header. Then after the header, we've got a main container containing all of the profile stuff. So this stuff goes into the top. Now let's see if our chat application also has this main container. I really sure hope so. It does, and it also has a different header. So that's good, right? Here it is a chat container, but still has a container where we render the conversation, and then this is like the bottom part of that chat application where there's the text input field. Okay, dokie. So let's copy this over as well, so that we can have a container, an empty one for now. So we know now that whatever this part is, is going to be dynamically filled in by whichever page that we routed to initially. And then stuff happens and we'll route to another page, which will then, or which should then dynamically fill in this part based on its contents. If it doesn't make sense for now, I sure hope it will at a later stage. Coolio. So all of this is very specific to the home page. So the liking, disliking page. We should probably get a different name for that. And that's about it, I think. So that's really it for now. Right, so let's save this, and then this should compile still. Yep. So now we have a view header. We've got a div containing nothing. Which is good, right? Let's show that on screen. So there we go. Here's the header, this stuff, which might end up routing to the chat, like a chat thing later. And then we should also have a container div. A container div, where is that? There we go. Excellent. Now let's try and get the content of whatever's in home into here and see how that goes. So to do that, maybe first let's also split up this thing into its own rendering function where we just render profiles, or the profile, I should say. So that's all of this. Render profile. And this seems to take a model's current pet. No, there's also show profile text. Okay. So that let's just pass along the model for now, and then we'll do that at a later time. So we call it view profile in the other screen. So view profile equals what? It's equals paste. And this takes indeed a model that will also need to pass along here. That's that. I'll try and increase my font size a bit, and maybe that'll be more clear, hopefully. If not, just give me a shout out and I'll try and fix it. Okay, so view profile is a view function that takes in a model and outputs HTML message. There we go. We are exposing all of the things. So what we could do now is import home over here. So let's just be a bit naive, and let's put all of our own statements at the bottom. So we want to import home, and we want exposed for now, maybe just that, what was it again? The view profile function. View profile. So this isn't being used just yet. So what we needed to do to just straight up render our home div or our profile is call this, but call it with a model. Now we do not have, excuse me, we do have a model that gets passed into the view function, right? However, this model, as we're about to see in the compilation, is not a the expected model. So we are expecting the argument to be a home.model, but it is just a plain model, so a local one. In fact, it is this one. So how can we do that? We could just simply say that our model consists of just some page model or whatever. Yeah, it'll get fixed later. And our page model is what? Maybe just a page model or something. I do not want it to be an anything, I guess. The other thing that would make it even more simple, I guess, if we could just say, well, this is the home model, which is a home.model. And then it would also get a chat model, which is a chat.model, which we'll import later. Cool. So model, home model, there we go. Now initialization should break somewhere as well. I hope, yeah, over here. And let's just add the initial model that was in here as well. Somewhere. Main.elm. Let's also import initial model. Whoops. And then initialize this with home.initial model. Now let's see what breaks. So our view profile is now going to be returning an HTML with a message, but this message again is this exact message type, so it's home's message type. And now Elm is complaining, well, it should return an HTML with a message. However, your current message is, or the thing that you're returning from view profile is a home.message. So we could also apply the same tactic, I guess, I should call it, to this type. And how are we going to do that? Yeah, so what we could do is we could now change this thing into getting home messages, I guess, which contains a home.message, message received, I don't know. Oh, my bad. And we are taking that into account right here, right? So what we need to do now is what do we need to do now? I guess provide this thing with a function that, or provide view profile with a function that also wraps whatever this thing emits into our own type, so the home message received. So we could do that. We could say view profile with that model, and then pass along what will pass along a home message received constructor function. So now our view profile, let's just duplicate it for now, maybe. View profile main, maybe, I don't know, is gonna take in a model, is also gonna take an HTML message. Oh, and here we can say is also gonna take in a, so this is, okay, whatever. Is also gonna take in something that takes a message, or some function that takes in a message and is gonna make an error and is going to output an any type, I think. And then what this is going to do is the following. We need this to be our first argument, I think. Ah, damn. But then, oh yeah, okay. So this is incorrect. This is going to output an A, an HTML with an A. And then what we need to do is apply constructor to view profile with this model. Nope. And the thing is, if I need to pass this and I'm going to call it from main, then my main will need knowledge of HTML or this message, so I guess that's fine. The thing is, I don't want my home page to know about main, so I don't want a cyclical dependency, and this is basically how we do it, right? So let's try and do view profile main, and then this would be the function that takes in this case, the HTML with the message. So that's an HTML that has a home.msg, and then you can wrap it into, oh yeah, okay, cool. Into this thing. Because with, oh my god. Nope, it really does need to be this thing, right? But how will I be able to call view profile? Okay, so I clearly seem to be struggling quite a lot. So let's check out this piece of code right here, or try and explore all of this. Or maybe another thing that we could do to keep it a little bit simpler, hopefully. Fetching views, routing. Yes. Let's do routing. So this is what we used last time, and this as well, by the way. These are, well, diagrams that explain how regular routing works. But I'm interested to learn how we actually can show wait. Because basically what we could do now is just redirect to chat, I think. Yeah, but then you'd have to put it in all in one file. Okay, let's think some more. Or let's look up whatever is happening here. So it is implied that you've done most of the rest of the tutorials. But I hope we can manage. Right, so they do have also one main page. And it has a route. Okay. And then you want to implement on location change right here as well. So how do you pass along states in between pages, I guess? Showing the correct view. Right. I guess we could do that, right? Just use generic types. Let's first get rid of this. So this would then return an any type, then it's going to complain because we are in fact returning very specific messages. It always returns these. But that's also what the documentation said, right? So if you're not using messages, then you can reuse. You can basically reuse main. So this is, oh man, their main is super short. The only thing it does is basically parsing and routing. Import, yeah, that does make sense. So they put all of their models into one file, so there's never cyclical dependencies like that, I guess. I think that's also what Richard Feldman seems to have done. Since all of the model stuff is grouped in this data folder. Same for views, and then also same for pages. So I'm used to thinking more in a this page has always three components. Basically, it's a model and an update and a view function. And I thought, well, my chat page has all of these three, so they need to be together always. And then my home page has these three components. They need to be together always. But here, instead of model, view, update, update, they're doing these need to be together, these need to be together, and these need to be together always. Okay, let's try that then. How do we approach that, or how do we start doing that? Because right now our view and update, etc., they're all in one file. So that's gonna be a pain in the ass. But I'll guess we'll just power through it. So let's do it. Let's do it. Let's start making folders. Now, maybe this is also a good time where we want to rename home, because it's not exactly home, is it? It's like the swiping page or something, I don't know. Oh wait, so this is again our thinking of, or my thinking of thinking in components that belong together, or like functionality that belongs together. So we should be thinking in what type of component, so more like a technical division. So this should, maybe let's just call it data then, just like our good friend Richard Feldman. I don't know the guy in person, but it's always cool to call someone your good friend. Oh damn, that's not what I meant. That's not what I meant to do. Move the view. Yes. So we got data, view, pages, I think, as well. Maybe these can be one thing for now. So let's rename this already into pages. Pages, because data is also plural. And then what else? Update. How do you call that stuff? Updates. Calls it request or something. I don't really know. Maybe the update stuff is part of his views thing as well. and expose ways to translate them into other data structures. So other data structures like HTML views. Well, let's start off with looking at the main.elm page then. All right. Let's see. Doop de doop de doop. So it does have a view function because you always need one, right? And then you basically call view page because he does some lazy loading in some cases. Which takes along a session, but also a page. And then view pages, this takes the page. This is stuff we hopefully won't need. A Boolean, and then a page. And then what? Then page. So these are sort of like your routing, your results. It does have a home page, and it takes in a submodel, and submodel, where does submodel enter the picture? All right, because you define your pages as a union type. Ooh, ooh, baby. I like this. Okay, so once you have home, then you call home.view. So where does home come from, though? That's a deep question. Does it live in our hearts? Let's go to the page stuff. There should be a home. There it is. So, wait. Okay, cool. All right, thanks for the follow. Whoever followed, I need to fix that. And you scared the hell out of me. I'm gonna turn down my volume. uh, excellent. So this now confuses me, right? Because this shows the idea that I had basically as well, or that we were thinking about doing. Yeah, so maybe that's the thing. So instead of yeah. So I'm confused because so the reason that I said, hey, let's make this this main page that has our main view. What Richard does is he extracts basically this template into reusable components. So, or reusable bits, right? So then what he does is he'll have his home page use basically this part and then inject his proprietary stuff, which that all makes so much more sense actually. So excellent. So let's see, right? What we need to do now is move home to the pages directory, right? Same for chat. Let's do that as well. Then I'm unsure what pages, or what data contains. Maybe it is just accessors or something. Let's check it out again. The data module. common data structures and expose ways to translate them. So data user. Right, so there's like, is it only common? Is it only common data types or structures? Let's see, this one. It does contain an article, I guess, or a slug. Slug. Yeah, but this is, sorry, this was the main. So which one does this import from data? Tag and sessions. Where can you also find tag? So his model does consist of a list of tags. So basically it's just structures then. Okay. We can do this. We can totally do this. So I guess pets should end up in here because we reuse that stuff all over the place. And then updates can go because we don't need you anymore. Oh, who needs a trash bin anyway, right? And I need to remove source updates. Right, sorry. There we go. This can go. Now let's maybe make our main. Did we break a lot of stuff? I guess we did, right? Oh, actually, this is now a reusable component. So maybe we could put that in some view part somewhere. Views. Then create a new file called, help me out here. What do I call this file name? It should contain our header, basically, or our header reusable view component. Should I just call it header? It seems so weird. Header. I don't know, man. Or view. Because for now, a view would be enough. But then it doesn't express anything, right? Fuck it. Module header, exposing all the things or something. And maybe now it's a good time to do this. Thank you for telling me what I'm not using. See, and this is where these anonymous, well, any types come in handy. All right. Making progress. Yeah, so this is not compiling now anymore, right? Oh, what else can we do? Oh, and this is this compiling still? Ah, yeah. Wait. So now our view function here should not use this hard-coded header anymore. It should actually use views dot header. I think it works this way. Dot view header or something. Maybe we could just make this into a header because that to me seems to make more sense. Header. And I will call this HTML.header to avoid confusion. There we go. Why is this not breaking? Bliss. Ah. This is correct. Does it work like this? It does nay. The module name is messed up. Okay. What? So the module name inside pets.elm then, or what? According to the file's name, it should be data.pets. I guess which it is. According to the source. Oh, right. So it's like so wait, is this compiling then? See, that's just strange to me. This does work. And now this works as well. All right, I guess we figured out modules. So your modules can also contain namespaces, basically, and your namespaces should match the directory structure. I guess that's how it works. So this was all thanks to just a simple error that I was getting. Man, I keep being impressed by Elm. So views.header, oh sorry, header exposing. I think it's just header. And then it's gonna go conflict as well. Same problem here, I bet. Let's do that. Then let's check if that it does compile. Cool. So then we'll need the, I forget the view function. We were already calling it. Dude, how cool is this? Modularity. Maybe for the main container, let's wait a bit, because I noticed that for chat it's a different second class, so we'll probably want to add that part or something. Yeah, no, let's work on that later. Oh, okay, cool. So we've got reusable components. We've got actual data. We have not yet refactored chat. And do we want to do that for now? Maybe let's not. Maybe let's first just make sure that we're able to actually render our home page based on this new file structure here. And let's also initialize our first main thing with the router stuff so that it navigates to our home page. Cool. Let's do that. Let's do that first. I like figuring stuff out like this. Then see this stuff is still unclear to me. So because it's a bit confusing, I think, because so they have a reusable. Oh. So the thing I was trying to say is so because I just realized something. Sorry for the confusing on your end. There are two concepts called page in this file in main.elm. One of them is this unit type that they have built specifically for the routing part, or to express, hey, we've got a home page and it uses a home model. But then there's also this entire views module where they use page as well to, I guess, represent something that is always contained, like it's like your actual document page or something, the document that you're looking at. And this initial page is an actual page then, or what? No, so this needs to be, because this is just so somewhere where they also use active page, right? See, that's why I don't understand, like, why would you alias the module if you're gonna use this anyway? I don't get that stuff. Okay, but let's keep it a little bit more simple now. So do I want to rename this page or this thing? I think maybe this thing, or just not use the alias when I find out. God. So I guess we won't need blank. I don't think we need not found. I don't think we need error even. For now, I think let's just go with home. And then home is something that takes a model that belongs to home. So what they have, oh, maybe this is some sort of convention though. No. Right. It belongs to pages.home now. And then home itself should be pages.home. Oh. Okay. Let's not deal with this for now. So we know that we'll end up with a chat page as well, right? So maybe just make that as well. So chat page has a chat.model in the end. Be interested into knowing how passing along the ID is gonna work. Let's think about that later. Yep, so model has page state, and I don't know why. Yeah. See, and then the initial page is blank. But I guess for us it could mean the initial page should be home, right? Is loading. This is also probably to do some. So here they use page as the import again, like as the module and not as the union type. Maybe just call it view page then, no? So here, what happens if you get a home with a submodel? Yeah. So our view function, yeah, obviously looks like that, but then we should just go like, yeah, so wait. Maybe our model just needs to contain a page in that case. So this thing, and this thing is a page. Oh, my bad. Just Alt and yeah. Please format. Oh, it's not gonna because of this. Let's get rid of this stuff. Oh, it was never compiling. God. Ha. What's the matter? No, I just want my own. Oh, did I get rid of that stuff? Type MSG. This can go because it doesn't need to contain any logic at all. What's the problem here? Ah, yeah, our view model is doing nothing. So return this. Then what? Oh, so sorry for the rehashing for all of this stuff because URL changed. And now our model doesn't take an initial model anymore, but our model takes a home page, and our home takes home's initial model. Like this. Oh, right. So URL should take a nav.location. Yeah. My bad. Let's format, please format. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. Right. So what we need to do here is use our models page. Do we want to destructure this or not? I guess so. It'll be easier, right? And then page comes with case of page. When page is a what? A home page, and home having a submodel. What do we want to do? We want to call our home's view function and pass along a submodel. That's right. And otherwise, I don't really care. I don't care. It should be fine because I only have one page, right? I guess it's not fine. No. Yeah, I know. They be mapping it. They be mapping it. I don't really get this stuff. So I understand that they want to call the view function, right? So basically this is delegation based on the page that was updated on your main model. I think we can straight up ignore that, but what they do is they pipe the output of this view function into a frame function that also has page.home, which I don't understand yet. But I'll need to learn what the output or the output type of this thing is, so that I then can understand why they would use HTML map on home message, and then where home message is located at. Scroll. Subscriptions. Ah. Yeah, so they wrap all the things. Yeah. Guess that makes sense, right? Here's the update function. Let's come to that when we come to that. Ooh, my bad. Okay, cool. So we sort of started doing that ourselves as well. When we had a yeah. Again, the mapping. Why? My God. Okay. I think I might get it. Okay, let's just check out the signature of HTML map. So we want the output of this thing to be piped into what? Into HTML.map. Map. Literally, it says transform the messages produced by some HTML. In the following example, we have view button that produces empty brace messages, and we transform those values into message values in view. This should not come in handy too often. Taking that for a longer time. King Siller asks, what am I doing? Well, let me give you a very quick, or let me get you up to speed very quickly. We are building this application that consists out of, well, 2 pages basically. One where you can swipe, you can dislike or like, you can click on an eye to show profile text. You then get randomly matched, and after you get matched, you can click through on send message and then talk to chickens. That's basically what we're doing. Excellent. What we've done before is also viewable on our YouTube channel, which I'm gonna make sure to add to the Twitch page. Add YouTube to Twitch page. There we go. Boom. That is now posted on my monitor. So go ahead and rewatch those. You can come back to this stuff later, but basically I'm writing an Elm app. That's about it. So feel free to check this stream out later as well. And get up to speed, man. Elm is too cool. Right, so we were mapping the output of home.view. It contains the submodel, or the outputs a home.h. Well, it outputs HTML with a home.msg, but I want to map that stuff into something that takes our message with. So I want to map whatever output comes out of this, and I want to pass that output as input. So the second argument actually to the map function, of which the first argument takes in a transformer function. So this is the second one. And the second one is, in this case, just a constructor function. So I want home message to be able to get a home.msg, right? However, oh yeah, so indeed it always returns a message. Oh, it compiles. I feel like there's something that I'm missing though. Not sure what just yet. Let us think. So I guess the frame stuff we don't really need all that much. Maybe it's like add some dynamic behavior or generic behavior. That is right. We don't have an update function. What am I doing? Well, we do have one, but it doesn't do anything. So our no-op, which I think just looks way cooler if you go like, nope, nope. What we could do now is deal with these messages, so home messages. And what do we want to do with this? I guess like what's going on? Oh right, there's a URL change which I don't want to take into account just yet. Or I could set it up like this and then the location. Not sure, I'm not even sure if we're gonna need it just yet, but whatever. Excellent. So what do I want to do? I actually, I really just want to pass this home message on to our update function of our home module, right? So go do this stuff and then get back to me. And what? So there's something wrong with the third one, which is this one. And the third, yeah, that is indeed incorrect. Model, wait, how does that work? Cheating. I'm cheating. Cheating. Deal with it. So this stuff we got set up, right? And then update function. Update function. Grr. I guess update page is something that also is gonna unwrap all of this stuff. And it needs the page state indeed, so it can determine which model to actually use, which page I mean. Then I want to find out what get page does, right? Is it below? Nope. Get page. Get page. Yeah, okay, so this just destructures. We don't need that because we already have our page on our model. So our update function has something that says update page, the page from the model, pass along a message and the model. This I am unclear. Why do you still need a model? Because of the session. Is it just because of the session? No. Yeah, it is. Damn. Oh wow, I didn't know you could destructure like this as well. Oh, yeah, I'm definitely gonna have a hard time indeed. Thanks for the vote of confidence, man. Should be fine. I have to map message. Yes, mapping message we did. I think we did that here. But now I was trying to figure out this bit. So update page, which is this thing, and I'm just trying to look through the noise basically because this is maybe just already write that stuff. So it comes down to this. I don't want to take into account this stuff. I don't want to take into account this stuff. I do want to take into account this stuff. So update page with my models page that gets passed a message. My message. So the thing is that this is already like more generic stuff because it has multiple pages basically, but we don't have that yet. But I want to try and set it up so that we already have. So our update page is something that takes in one of these pages, which then it gets a message, which then gets a model, which then outputs a model with a command that has a message. Page message model. This should work. Cool. Where is my home model? my home model is in the pages.home file. And that's right here. I hope that's fine. Right, so let's keep on trying to reverse engineer what Richard T. Feldman has been doing. Why is it always the loaded stuff? I just want my home page, right? Home. Ah, yeah. This is the part where he does. Ah, he's such a smart ass. Man. What do you mean your main elm should consist? Do I really need that though? Okay, sorry for viewing this in retrospect. Povilas has been helping me out. And last thing he says is, where is your home model, by the way? Your main.elm should consist it to somewhere. Like, for example, in the Elm SPA, it is stored in page loaded. So here, home loaded, I guess, is gonna take in a result that has a model or not. And something that they don't care about. And it's gonna update the page state with it being loaded and then also containing the submodel. But then I think eventually it'll they'll need to do some with that page state stuff, right? And then get into this bit. Where was that? Where they get a home message, a sub message, and then a sub model as well, which they then use to basically route to that page using. So here's where everything gets tied together, right? Because you're using your home bit, so all of the stuff from home gets contained in this single statement right here. But I think it's a bit strange. Like, how does 2page know that it should output a this kind of message? So not a home dot message, but a main dot message. See, so they map as well on command. Cool. This I also just learned from seeing HTML.map into another HTML message or message.map, I forget. So that was also my bad. This is not destructuring at all. It's just defining a temporary function and does it use. Yeah. But I don't think we need to do any of this. I think. Yeah, so this is sort of like advancing or like calling the update function of the or that belongs to the page. So in our case, we could just do this, right? because we have our sub message already, because it belongs on this page thing. So really what we should be doing is the following. Call home.update. Oh yeah, and then first we need to destructure page, right? So pattern match, pattern match page again. And then when that is a home message with home's message, we can call this with a home message with a home model basically, and home model where was home model? Sorry for figuring this out so slowly, but I guess my excuse is that I'm learning. Where does he get a submodel from? Yeah, so this is something that he has been building or has been making. He does a case of expression or a destructuring expression in somewhere. Right here. I forget where I tied the model to then, because okay, now I'm just confused. How is it that you can destructure something into oh, nope, I don't get this. I don't understand. Ah yeah, this is the home page, and the page had the model, right? Page. Yeah, okay. And we do get page in here as well. So then this is definitely not, this should be message or something. No, because I want to get page, and then if it's home with the home, or basically submodel, then I want to, yeah, of course, I used home model there. Hmm. I'd like to know how he does this stuff. Like, is it just because he puts it in a tuple beforehand that he destructures both of them at the same time? It's another pattern I haven't seen yet. So I guess I could do something like this. Hang on. Let in. I want my message, or what was it that he had before? First has a page, and then the message belonging to that page, right? No, first the message and then the page. Okay, so something that has this. Oh, god damn it. And no, I can do this. I can do this. I can go like, or first just like declare it. So what is it? It takes a page, a mass or a message. It takes a page, and it will return a tuple of our message and our page. Or combine. I don't know. So combine message page equals message page. There we go. Then I can destructure the output of message and page, or pattern match that stuff. And then, what the hell is this stuff? And then do pattern matching on both of them, because somehow that's important. And so this is my second part of my case matching. And then the first part should be when it's a what? When it's a just an any or something, I don't know. No, because my message also contains something. So when it's my home message containing my actual home message, there we go. And now the only thing I need to do now is that this thing is now returning an allez, a home model type, and I want to map that. Can you do that? What does it? Because what our model take is another page. Man. Okay, so Paul Vilas 3000 is trying to steer me in another direction, it seems. He says you don't really care about page at the moment. You should just try to update child model in parent. Child model in parent. Update the child model in the yeah, basically, yeah, indeed, yeah. That's exactly what I was trying to do. And then indeed, I shouldn't really care about that page stuff, but that's like the container for most of it, right? But I feel like I'm there already now. And he also has this thing, a paste bin article. Let's check this out. Is it containing spoilers? That's for later. Okay, thanks. Thanks for helping me out, man. I appreciate it. So indeed, so let's focus then on updating my child model in the parent, so in main. So we are here where we just had like this magical stuff happen. Let's just, yeah. Indeed. Okay, so put this into your update function, refactor accordingly. What is that this? Is other text following? Or do you mean the paste bin stuff? Oh, or do you mean this bit? Just don't care about page stuff. Just go like... Oh, my bad. Yeah, it does make sense because... Oh, okay. So let's put the paste bin stuff into... Yeah, but hang on, because categories... Oops. Let's get that in here then. Update. Yeah, I am. Okay, so I like that stuff better. So you are returning home model and home message, map them back to main. This is what I was trying to do. Indeed. How though? So the output of all of this is for now. I'm not even outputting any command. So let's just do this for now. So the dead end of the bargain adds up, I guess. Oh no. Yeah. Okay. So it's good that I tried that because then I can see what the difference is. So update is returning two things. It's returning a tuple of model and a command message. Now I need to map this thing into a new tuple. How do you go about that? Can you like... okay, the way you mops it is in the paste bin. Yeah. Yeah, so you destructure whatever comes out and then you do this, but my model doesn't have a submodel. So this end I understand. Let in. Command, no wait, model message. Equals this thing. All right, which then allows me to do update your model basically with I want to do this, right? Home's model or whatever. And then I want to CMD map home's message with the CMD constructor, right? Oh, this should go first probably. What now? Cheating. Ah, yeah, because oh god. Right? With the sub command. And this is indeed not a message, but then home command, right? Let's maybe indeed call this sub model and then sub command. And then, yeah. I don't understand. I do not understand. This isn't gonna work either, right? Because my model just contains a page. Okay, that's what you meant by refactor accordingly. Okay. Because that will also get me rid of the page stuff. So map takes what? My home message. Exposing all the things, but yeah. Now I'm confused because I don't understand why it's not even. Ah, yeah, because you want this thing. You want it to be this thing. Because that is my. Ah, yeah, because it's not a generic thing. It's okay. And now it's gonna complain that it's returning something specifically or that model is not containing a submodel, which is correct. But so now let's refactor it into something that does that. Now maybe since this thing only needs a message and a model. I was thinking about getting rid of this. Getting rid of the page stuff, but then I think it's gonna make it harder for me at this point. um, let's just first try it and do this. So what's our submodel? I guess I can make it concrete for now because it's a home model. Um, you can't do that or what? Can you not directly execute this function with message and page coming from here and then pattern match that thing? Or because then I'm just gonna do this current page, current message or something, I don't know. It's the other way around. And then just use this. Oh, no. And then message wherever I add that stuff. And this is it, I guess. Oh boy. 47 to 50. There's a problem, by the way. Could you put chat notifications on stream, you mean? I guess. I'll add it to the list or something, or do you want me to do it now? Maybe it's helpful now, I guess. Yeah, let me just try and get that stuff going quickly. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah. There is a delay though, so I'm streaming with a delay of 20 seconds or something, so I'll get the delay, or I'll get, as soon as you type something, I'll get the feedback instantly, right? I can do that. Hang on. Um, hang on. I'm not sure actually if I can get an alert whenever you type something. That would be kind of nuts, right? uh, hmm. I, I I can add a chat box, but then that'll only show up on stream, so I'm unsure if I don't even know if that's useful even. Yeah, no, it doesn't seem like I can. Sorry. Right, so I don't know how to actually update my current stream now. Let's try this button. All right, so maybe we'll keep that for next time then or something. I'll try and figure it out. Write it down. Figure out chat box. Okay. Right. So anyway, put lines 48 to 52 instead of line 37. 48 to 52 instead of 37. Yeah, but then how do you get this thing? Oh, you don't. Wait. You know, so how do you get this thing indeed? Or is that where you have a submodel on your model as well? Because then I can go like this, right? And then get rid of this. Reverting, I'm reverting. Oh, sorry, 48 until 52, right? So this part I could reuse and put instead of line 37. So where does the home model come from then? Goodbye. I think if you can, you know, when my model looks like this now, then I could go like that, right? Oh yeah, it is. Yeah. For now, it is. So model is indeed submodel for now. And now I need to refactor accordingly. So my initial model has a page, which I don't really need at this point. If that's correctly. And I can just have my initial model like that, then I don't need to destructure this thing anymore, and it can just be my submodel. And because I have my submodel right here, I can do this. Yeah, that is way simpler. I don't need these anymore either. All right, so thanks for the guidance. But now I'm unsure which path to go to, because I still need to do routing, and the idea was to do routing based on this thing. So, but maybe I can just make it easier, hopefully. So maybe let's now just continue with routing. I'm gonna hang on. I'm first gonna, because I haven't been keeping up with my commits actually. I should have did the moving to different packages. I should have committed that earlier as well. And index is indeed keeping main, yeah, indeed. All right. This is maybe the in-between step, just to render home within a container, or like one main thing, so that I can reroute to different pages basically, depending on my route or my navigation. Sorry. Let's call this Povilas 3K. Thanks, man. Actually, I don't know if you are indeed a male. Thanks, person. Cool. Now let's. What did I change this time? Nothing. That was just to get error. Cool. Let's see if we can get it to work again. Maybe I should start my Elm reactor for that as well. Yep. Yay. Okay. Let's look at this thing now. Right, so here you can then see what main message was called, or like where it belonged to, which actual message got fired, and then the submodel will always contain the what's this thing called? So the submodel will always contain the model belonging to that, in this case, home message. So in belonging to that page. Cool. This was indeed very challenging. All right. Now let's find out how we can add. We can change stuff. So since we are able to get the message coming from, yeah, do we though? Because all of this is just delegation. How do you writing? Okay. All right, so here's what Povilas suggests. So assuming now everything works, which it does, we verified that, you could add another page with, let's say, model.submodel2 for chat or whatever, and then add another submapping function, which eventually leads you to repetitive code, and this is where Elm SPA update page kicks in. Cool, 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 cool. I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, so let's do just that. So let's add our chat page as our submodel 2. Right, now we need to also make what? Okay, this is weird. Why is it called home? Right, so it should be pages.chat in the first place. Okay, import data.pets. Then this should be fine. No, because we're not, in fact, importing pages, not chat, as chat exposing. Currently, just the model. We don't need this anymore either. And I'll bet you will need message as well. So then, okay. This also doesn't need a pipe anymore, I guess, because we can model also initialize our chat page like that. And then this is gonna get really weird though. Is this why you need like a loading thing, like an intermediary? I'm just mumbling. I'm sorry. So this is now going to be a chat message, which takes in a chat message. We are not taking that thing into account yet. It's gonna look exactly like this, indeed. No. And then we want to call chat.update with our submodel 2. And call this submodel 2 as well. Wait. Bam. And then this should also be chat message, right? Now, what have we actually done? Because our view now only takes into account the submodel and not submodel 2. So if we do this, it's impossible to combine this though. because you'll always only want to be calling only one view function. Maybe we can just have it then based on what I need. I think I need the routing stuff now. Because when do I actually want to move to the chat application? So this duplication I can tackle later, right? Because I guess I can just, I'll need something like this, I think. Uh, Something like that. That's gonna take a page. Hmm. I want to look up how the oh, how this stuff works in this part. Because the thing that they're doing here is just checking the URL on the browser, basically, right? I'm still wondering about how to pass messages. I was gonna say events that happen over here, like someone clicks on a button, specifically this button, and this clicking on this is gonna happen inside home, which I do have access to right here, I guess. But you still want to just delegate that stuff. Ah, yeah. So then in here, you would say uh, navigate to chat page with this, or can you just like say change the browser location or something like that? So then we would need to go in here. And then actually do navigation. Because here's a path, and then Oh yeah. And then you click on that thing, and then player's path looks like. Let's go here. No path there. No path there either. Yeah. So here they form. So it's just dumb links, basically. That makes sense. Ah, I can see that the chat thing is working though. So some tips on reverse engineering. Try to figure out how Elm SPA works. Use that Elm debugger and see where state, current page, and other things is stored. Then figure it out who is modifying setting that part of a state, because loads of code in Elm SPA are moved into abstractions which are hard to see through from a first glance. This is true. Yeah, you think you understand or the SPA part because you think like, oh, page, I know of that concept. It's something that contains a view and an update and a model, and then it is not. And as usual, we can say assumption is the mother of all fuck-ups. And in this case, it would be correct as well. The hard part was dealing with all of this, because it does add a lot of extra, how can you say that? It adds a lot of complexity that is unnecessary for the thing that I want to achieve, which is just straight up routing. And by looking at this example here, the only thing you should know is that the actual navigation happens when you simply click on a link, and that link will modify your URL with the hashtag thing. Excuse me. Just with the hashtag thing. And then because that happens, you can, where is that example? Where, because I think I got it in chat, where we can react to an update to a URL changed message, which then does all of this part again. But so then this definitely needs to move to main, to our main thing, as it was already in here, right? Because your main application should react to URL changed things. I mean, there's only one thing that needs to react to URL changed locations, because I can't imagine to have both our chat and home pages listening to URL changes in the browser and then doing stuff to that. So, but I think it's also impossible, because you have to. Okay, so maybe not here, but in here then. It's something you need to listen to, or where was that stuff again? I think you needed to like add a this thing. You need to tell your nav program application what the message is that should get triggered whenever a URL change occurs. And that's what we did already over here. Okay. Okay, so now what? Now I think what we okay. The route change thing is exactly this function. Sorry, this union type. The URL changed stuff. But what do you need to do then? I guess match the location to in this case the correct view function, right? And then we can contain that in our model. And then based on our model, we could pick which view function to call. That seems like a plan, right? So in that case, my model needs to be extended with something that says it's hard for me to think this way. I really just want to go from here and then deduce from location. Yeah, maybe we just need pages indeed, like we already had a union type chat. Let's call these things pages as well. Thank you for the following. I think it's just so thanks for the follow. Even if it was just to get me to say I like it. Let's add a page to our model as well. Page, which is a page. And then our initial page can be a home page. There we go. Now what we could do here is deduce page from location. We pass along the location. And I don't think I want to do that stuff. So then deduce page from location. Well, actually, that's not gonna be enough, right? Because I also want to then go to that page, but we'll figure that stuff out later. What is that? That's a nav location. And I want to return a model. I have something in my buffer and I don't know which. Okay, so that thing. Location equals. I guess I also need a model, right? Because this needs to be outputting a model. Let's do it. So now let's check what we had already in the chat application where we were using this stuff. Oh man. Yeah, I guess what you could do is call this and then and I sort of need to combine these parsers, right? Because my first thing is going to be the page, and then when my page is called chat, I want to be listening to the ID, and I don't want to do that when it's home. This can go, right? And this as well. So I guess it's an empty string, and that should get me a string. Which should get me I don't need the slash thingy. So now we're running into territory where I don't understand the navigation thing. Helm lang navigation. Ah. Okay, I need I need this thing. Yeah. How do you get the first part out of it though? Oh. Oh. Neat. This is neat. So basically, for now, we haven't called them routes, we've called them pages, so maybe let's call them routes or something. Route. And route has, is this. And home doesn't take anything, but index takes an integer. I guess it is. Does it take an integer? Yeah. Because I want to be chatting with my chicken of choice. Sorry. But here they hmm. I want to be unit testing this stuff, alright. Let's just return model for now and then Um, oh yeah, that's not confusing at all. Ollie. Let's go. Unit test. I think we could. Damn it. Copy too early. Copy paste. Paste. And then these are, I guess, routing tests. Routing tests. So let's expose main. I do not need this, I don't think. And we don't need any of this stuff either. Oh no, I hope that because last time we were quite in a bit of a pickle with all of this conditionally rendering stuff. Because we needed to perform assertions on HTML divs. Luckily, we don't need to do that anymore now, but we might run into some problems when our route things can't be equaled or asserted properly either. So this is going to be the routing test, right? And what are we testing? We are going to be testing the route function. So route when, maybe let's do this. Ooh, or let's get rid of this entirely. And then this entirely. And then we can just add the hash stuff with chat one routes to chat with int one. We don't need any of that. We can actually say our route function, which is going to be contained there, and not here for now. Yeah. So when route gets what? Route gets some kind of hash. Yeah, so I'll need to do the parse hash stuff first. So this is actual notation or what? I didn't know. And I think we can use this sort of notation. Oh. Oh yeah, I need to add it to my to this one. Wait, why doesn't it have it already? So this is the one in tests, right? Yeah. And then this is the other one, and it does indeed have navigation and URL parser, and it doesn't have the other one. Oh, right, and we also added this one, which we're not using. Oops. Oopsie. So adding it to the LM package is not enough. Yes, 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 yes. Yay! Then we can also run elm test. Oh. Oh yeah, so now it also tries to run home tests, which we completely broke. Because we now need to import pages.home and then I think data.pets. And then it appears that we don't need that selector. Oh wait, what? In main? Oh yeah. Bad rename. Okay, so it's not actual code. Then I need to look up what. I think that's so annoying. Can I get away with just not adding this stuff? I only care that there's like one object that has a hash because it's the only thing I care about, right? I'm guessing no. This should not be blog. This should be main dot home. No wait, chat. And this is correct. Oh, just parser. And I guess also one of. And then this needs to be main dot chat. And then this can go. No. Yeah. Ho, hang on. Get rid of this. We're not using that anyway. And then route. Route is what? This is actually main dot route or page. I forget. Page. Yeah, and then this is gonna be URL parser map. Hmm. Oh yeah. Wait, no. LSI. So this is cool because now I can just do this, copy all of that, and then make a function that says build location with just this hash string. And then I'll get a build location that takes in a string and turns a nav dot location, of which nav I need to still import. Let's get them all on one line. And then go like this. And then go like, wait, so now ion hash is missing still. Equals, I hope they're all strings. We'll figure that out later. And then all of this needs to be contained within these things. And then I can say, well, hey man, I only really care about this hash string where build location takes an a hash and does this. And then it does not compile. Yeah. Boom. Ah, still wrong. Okay. I'll give you white space Elm. Okay. Ha. Lucky that they were all strings. Excellent. I think. Does it work? Fuck, it works. So this is our implementation, right? So what if we have nothing, just like this thing? Now let's keep on running watch. Ah! It fails because you get nothing. Ah, yeah, so this is why there's a blank page or something, I guess. Hmm. I think this looks a bit silly. This makes more sense. Okay. Now we can add other tests, right? And let's say and that's just my guess, but I'm not sure if you can set up a default like that. And this should be main home. Yeah. And it is a nothing. So, oh shit, I need to stop streaming in 10 minutes or something. Otherwise, security is about to kick me out. So how do you do that? I want to map home to what? Well, to nothing. Can you actually do that though? Thanks for the follow, Vico. Just trying to figure out whether or not you can parse to blank, like to what if there is nothing there? I just want to route. Maybe they said something like there was some stuff in the examples. So here's some code. Map home top. Okay. It's very expressive. And then top is one of these things. Yep. Let's read the documentation on that maybe. Yeah. Sweet. Then we might want to put that stuff first, right? Yeah. Please to import. Sweet. So now that we know that this function works, I guess nothing routes to home. And I guess for completeness sake, so that we don't hard code one into our thing. Yay. It does make it a little bit more explicit, right? Okay, then this will need to move to main. Main, where are you at? Ugh, I just wanna like put that somewhere. Now I guess we don't need both of these because we already have this stuff as well. Same for this. However, in our add top parser and that's it. No, that's not it. One of nmap. I don't know what's customary. Like, do you put these things in front or what? I'm gonna want URL parser map. That's correct. And then same for this probably. Yay. So tests are still running, but I haven't saved them yet. I surely expected explosions. I am, because I am importing all the things. Now it's really unclear that I'm actually, yeah. Okay. I have to shut down the stream because otherwise we'll have security on our ass. Where do we go from here? So it sucks that we had to stop in the middle of doing something cool. At least we've got green tests now. Add all the things. What kind of commit message should this be? Started doing some routing. Fine. All right, cool. So I wrote down figure out chat box. Well, I guess that's already done because the chat box is working. So cool. I'm not sure if it's useful. At least you guys can see some activity if there is any. Then the other thing I need to do is add YouTube to Twitch page. So I'll add the links to the YouTube channel where you can rewatch all of the episodes because Twitch doesn't it doesn't keep them long enough. So I'm just exporting or trying to export them to YouTube, which and then the feature is broken for now. So I really hope they fix it because now I have to manually download and then upload it to YouTube every single time. I really do want to thank Povilas 3000 for helping me out. I probably would have been stuck for a long time on those pages. So really, thanks for the help and getting me on the right track or the more simple track again. What what else is there to say? I went to Socrates, Belgium, over the past weekend. I can really recommend going to any Socrates conference. Basically, you get to connect with your peers. They're all a bunch of super smart people, and I learned so much. And today I've learned that I still have a lot to learn about Elm as well, but I like the fact that I am learning still. So this is great. Yeah, cool. So thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you guys next week probably. So, all right, cool. Thanks for watching. Peace.